right, so you're getting ready for a mining assistant interview.
Uh-huh.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a career path that is all about hands-on skills.
Right.
And keeping those mining operations running really smoothly.
It is.
And we're here to help you prep for this.
Okay.
With this deep dive
All right.
into some common interview questions.
Awesome.
And how to knock your answers out of the park.
Yeah, and we're going to use some great resources from RoleCatcher.
Yeah.
Their career guides and their interview guides are packed with insights that can give you a real edge in this process.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So before we jump into the questions,
Okay.
let's get a clear picture of what a mining assistant actually does.
Yeah. So the RoleCatcher Career Guide defines it as supporting miners with a whole range of tasks.
Okay.
Everything from maintaining equipment to laying pipes and cables.
Wow.
Even clearing out waste.
Okay.
It's physically demanding work.
Yeah.
Often in challenging environments.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely essential to the whole mining process.
Absolutely. So that gives us some context.
Yeah.
Now let's dive into the questions.
Right.
I'll read them straight from the RoleCatcher Interview Guide.
Okay.
And we'll discuss how to approach each one.
Sounds good.
First up,
Okay.
can you explain your experience with mining equipment?
All right. So this is where you really want to showcase your technical knowledge
Okay.
and your hands-on skills.
Mm-hmm.
The interviewer is trying to gauge how familiar you are with the types of equipment used in their operations.
Okay.
So before the interview, do some research on the company's website or any industry publications to see what equipment they use.
So it's not enough to just say,
Yeah,
I've worked with mining equipment.
Yeah.
You need to be specific.
You need to be specific.
Yeah.
Mention the specific types of equipment you've operated or maintained.
Okay.
Excavators, haul trucks, drilling rigs, conveyor systems, so on. And be ready to talk about the maintenance tasks that you've performed.
Okay.
Have you done any troubleshooting or repairs?
Right.
Have you followed any specific safety procedures related to equipment operation?
This is where RoleCatcher's AI can really come in handy.
Absolutely.
Their CV and resume builder can help you tailor your application to the specific job by identifying keywords from the job description.
Right.
If the job ad emphasizes experience with hydraulic systems, for example, make sure your resume and your interview answers highlight any relevant experience you have.
That's a great point. And remember, the interviewer might follow up with something like, you mentioned experience with hydraulic hoists. Can you walk me through a time when you had to troubleshoot a problem with one?
Ooh, that's getting into the nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
So how should you handle a follow-up question like that?
So this is where the STAR method can be super helpful.
Okay.
It stands for situation, task, action, and result. So first, set the scene, describe the situation where you encountered a problem with a hydraulic hoist. Then outline the task you needed to accomplish. Maybe it was to diagnose the problem and get the hoist working again.
Okay.
Next, explain the actions you took.
Okay.
What steps did you follow to troubleshoot the issue? Did you consult manuals?
Right.
Did you use diagnostic tools?
Okay.
And finally, describe the result.
Okay.
Were you able to fix the hoist?
Gotcha.
What did you learn from the experience?
I love that approach.
Yeah.
It gives your answer structure and makes it easier for the interviewer to follow along.
Right.
And it shows that you can think logically and solve problems effectively.
Exactly. And speaking of safety, that's another key area interviewers will be focusing on.
Let's move on to the next question then.
Okay.
How do you ensure safety protocols are followed on a mining site?
So mining is inherently risky.
Yeah.
So demonstrating a proactive and responsible attitude towards safety is absolutely crucial.
Yeah.
Don't just rattle off a list of safety rules.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, share a situation where you noticed a potential safety hazard.
Right.
And took action.
So give them a real-life example
Yes.
of how you've put safety protocols into practice.
Exactly. Maybe you spotted a loose cable near a walkway and immediately reported it to your supervisor.
Right.
Or perhaps you noticed a coworker not wearing their safety goggles properly and reminded them of the importance of following protocol.
These examples show that you're not just aware of safety rules.
Right.
You're actively engaged in maintaining a safe work environment.
Exactly. And the RoleCatcher Career Guide emphasizes that the mining environment can be hazardous.
Yeah.
So highlighting your commitment to safety is essential.
Right.
Now imagine the interviewer asks,
Okay.
what's the most important safety lesson you've learned from your experience on a mining site?
That's a great follow-up question.
Yeah.
It digs deeper into your safety mindset.
Exactly. This is where you can share a personal anecdote. Maybe a close call you witnessed that really drove home the importance of following procedures.
Right.
Or perhaps you had a mentor who instilled in you a particular safety principle that has stuck with you throughout your career.
Okay, we're getting some really good strategies here.
Yeah.
What's the next question on our list?
Let's talk about time management.
Okay.
A common question is, how do you prioritize tasks and manage your time effectively on a mining site?
Oh, this is a big one.
Yeah.
Mining operations are complex and things can change quickly.
Absolutely. So the interviewer wants to know that you can handle multiple tasks,
Right.
prioritize effectively,
Uh-huh.
and adapt to changing circumstances.
Okay.
Again, think of a specific example that showcases your time management skills.
Okay.
Maybe you had to juggle several maintenance tasks while also responding to an unexpected equipment breakdown.
Right.
How did you decide which tasks to tackle first? What strategies did you use to stay organized and on track?
And it's not just about getting things done.
Right.
It's about getting them done safely and efficiently.
Right. And keep in mind that the career guide mentions career advancement paths in the mining industry.
Right.
As you move into supervisory or management roles, those time management and delegation skills become even more crucial.
Right.
So highlighting them early on in your interview is a smart move.
I like that. It shows you're thinking about your future in the industry.
Yeah.
Now, what if the interviewer follows up with something like, describe a time when you had to adjust your work plan on short notice due to an unexpected issue on the mining site? How did you handle it?
That's a classic test of your adaptability and problem-solving skills.
Right.
Be ready to describe a situation where you had to think on your feet, reprioritize tasks, and maybe even come up with a creative solution to a problem.
This is another area where RoleCatcher's AI can be really helpful. Their practice interview questions and AI-powered feedback can help you refine your answers and get comfortable talking about these types of situations.
Yeah.
You can record yourself answering the question.
Right.
And the AI will analyze your delivery, tone, and content.
It's like having a personal interview coach right in your pocket.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready to tackle another question?
I am. Let's do it.
All right, this one's about your problem-solving approach.
Okay.
How do you approach problem-solving on a mining site?
Okay.
I think a lot of people might freeze up when they hear a question like that.
Yeah.
It sounds so broad.
It is broad, but that's intentional.
Okay.
The interviewer wants to see how you think, how you analyze information, and how you go about finding solutions.
Right.
So don't just say, I'm a good problem solver.
Okay.
Instead, walk them through your process.
Okay.
Do you start by gathering information?
Okay.
Do you consult manuals or diagrams? Do you seek input from colleagues? Do you break the problem down into smaller, more manageable parts?
So it's not about having the answer right away.
Right.
It's about showing that you have a systematic approach to problem solving.
Exactly. And be prepared for follow-up questions. Like, can you give an example of a problem you solved that required you to think outside the box?
Right.
Have a situation in mind where you had to get creative or resourceful to find a solution.
Mining often throws curveballs.
Yeah.
So being able to think outside the box is definitely a valuable skill.
Absolutely.
Okay, what's next on our question list?
This one focuses on teamwork.
All right.
How do you ensure effective teamwork on a mining site?
Teamwork is crucial in any workplace.
Yeah.
But especially in a mining environment where safety and productivity depend on everyone working together.
Right. So think about a specific example where you collaborated effectively with others.
Yeah.
Maybe you worked on a project that required coordinating different tasks or sharing expertise. What was your role in the team? How did you communicate with your colleagues?
Okay.
Did you encounter any challenges? And if so, how did you overcome them?
And don't forget to mention the positive outcomes of your teamwork.
Yeah.
Did you achieve your goals? Did you improve safety or efficiency?
Right.
Did you build strong relationships with your team members?
And remember, the RoleCatcher Career Guide highlights the importance of hands-on work experience, which implies a collaborative environment.
Right.
Showcasing your teamwork skills reinforces that you understand the nature of the work and that you can thrive in a team setting.
Now, for a potential follow-up question they might ask.
Okay.
Describe a situation where you had to work with someone who had a different work style than yours. How did you ensure effective collaboration?
That's a great question. And it's really getting at your interpersonal skills and your ability to adapt to different personalities.
Right.
Explain how you approach the situation, how you communicated effectively, and how you found ways to work together despite your differences.
It's all about showing that you can be flexible and work collaboratively with people from diverse backgrounds.
Yeah.
And with varying styles.
Exactly.
Okay, we've covered some key areas like experience and safety and teamwork.
Yeah.
What other types of questions should our listeners be prepared for?
Well, interviewers often like to dig into
Go ahead.
your ability to handle challenging situations.
Okay.
So they might ask something like,
Right.
can you describe a time you had to deal with a difficult situation on a mining site?
The dreaded behavioral question.
Yeah.
Everyone's favorite.
Right.
But seriously, how do you approach a question like that?
Right.
It seems like there are so many possible scenarios.
You're right, there are.
Yeah.
Many situations that could come up in a mining environment.
Yeah.
Equipment malfunctions, safety incidents, weather delays, conflicts between team members. The key is to choose an example that allows you to showcase your problem-solving skills,
Okay.
your communication skills.
And your ability to stay calm under pressure.
So don't pick a situation where you just stood around and watched someone else handle the problem.
Exactly. Choose a time when you were actively involved in resolving the situation.
Okay.
Describe the problem, clearly outline the steps you took,
Mm-hmm.
and explain how your actions contributed to a positive outcome.
And don't forget to highlight what you learned from the experience.
Right.
Interviewers love to see that you're self-aware and that you're always looking for ways to improve.
Right now, they might follow up with a question like,
Okay.
looking back, is there anything you would have done differently in that situation?
Oh, okay.
Don't be afraid to acknowledge that you could have handled something better.
Right.
It shows that you're reflective and that you're open to learning from your mistakes.
This is another area where RoleCatcher's AI can be really helpful. Their practice interview questions and AI-powered feedback can help you refine your answers and get comfortable talking about challenging experiences.
You can record yourself answering the question,
Right.
and the AI will analyze your delivery tone and content,
Uh-huh.
giving you personalized suggestions.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic way to practice those behavioral questions and boost your confidence.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's move on to another common question that often trips people up.
Okay.
Can you give an example of a time you went above and beyond your regular duties on a mining site?
All right, so this one's all about initiative,
Okay.
showing that you're not afraid to take on extra responsibility and that you're committed to contributing to the team's success.
Exactly. It could be a time when you identified a problem and took steps to solve it without being asked.
Yeah.
Or maybe you volunteered for a task outside your normal responsibilities. The key is to showcase your willingness to go the extra mile
Right.
and make a positive impact.
And this ties back to the career insights we discussed earlier, right?
Yeah.
The mining industry is constantly evolving, so demonstrating a willingness to learn and adapt is essential for career growth.
Absolutely. If you can showcase your adaptability and your desire to expand your skill set,
Yeah.
that will definitely make a positive impression.
For sure. Now imagine they ask,
Yeah.
what motivated you to go above and beyond in that situation?
This is a chance to share a bit about your work ethic
Yeah.
and your values.
Right.
Were you driven by a desire to help your team? Were you excited to learn something new?
Uh-huh.
Did you see an opportunity to improve safety or efficiency?
Exactly. Use this question as an opportunity to show your passion for the mining industry and your dedication to doing your best.
Okay, what about technical knowledge?
Okay.
How do interviewers assess that?
A common question along those lines is,
Right.
how do you stay up to date on the latest safety regulations and best practices in the mining industry?
Okay.
Safety is paramount in mining, so they want to know that you're proactive about staying informed
Yeah.
and that you take it seriously.
So how should you answer that question?
Be specific.
Okay.
Don't just say you're aware of safety regulations. Talk about the resources you use to stay current.
Right.
Industry publications, online forums, professional organizations, conferences, training courses.
Yeah.
Mention any safety certifications you have
Or-
or are working towards.
It's also a good idea to tie your answer back to the specific company and role you're interviewing for.
Absolutely.
How will your knowledge of safety regulations and best practices benefit their operations?
Right. Show them that you've done your research and that you understand the company's safety culture.
Okay, let's say they follow up with,
Right.
can you describe a time you had to implement a new safety protocol on a mining site?
Perfect example. This is your chance to showcase your experience and commitment to safety in action.
Yeah.
Describe the specific protocol, the challenges you faced in implementing it, and how you ensured everyone on your team understood and followed the new procedures.
And even if you weren't in a formal leadership role,
Right.
this quotient allows you to demonstrate leadership qualities, communicating effectively, building consensus, and motivating others to prioritize safety.
Now let's tackle a question that often makes people uncomfortable.
Okay.
What are your salary expectations?
Oof. Yes, the dreaded salary question.
Right.
It's awkward but unavoidable.
Exactly. And it's a question you need to be prepared for before the interview. Do your research.
Okay.
Use websites like Glassdoor or salary.com to get a sense of the average salary range for mining assistants in your location and with your level of experience.
And remember, it's not just about industry averages.
Right.
You also need to consider the specific company and role. A larger company or a more specialized role might offer higher compensation.
Absolutely. Take into account the company's size,
Okay.
their financial performance, the level of responsibility of the role,
Right.
and the required skills.
Okay.
Once you have a good understanding of the market rate, you can confidently provide a salary range that reflects your worth.
Now, what if the interviewer pushes back on your salary expectations?
Be prepared to negotiate.
Okay.
Reiterate your value, highlighting your relevant skills and experience.
Right.
You can also emphasize your willingness to learn and grow with the company.
And remember, salary is just one piece of the compensation puzzle.
Yeah.
You can also negotiate for benefits, vacation time, or professional development opportunities.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's shift gears to a question about your long-term goals.
Okay.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
So this question is all about assessing your ambition
Okay.
and your commitment to the company. They want to know if you're looking for a long-term career with them
Right.
or if you're just using this as a stepping stone.
So be honest and realistic.
Yeah.
You don't need to have a specific job title in mind,
Right.
but you should be able to articulate your career aspirations and how this role aligns with your long-term goals.
Yeah. This is a great opportunity to tie back to those career advancement paths
Right.
outlined in the RoleCatcher Career Guide.
Exactly.
You could mention your interest in specializing in a particular area,
Yeah.
like equipment maintenance or blasting, or perhaps you see yourself moving into a supervisory or management role down the line.
Excellent point. It shows that you've thought about your future in the mining industry.
Yeah.
Now imagine the interviewer asks,
Okay.
how do you plan to achieve those goals?
This is your chance to talk about your initiative and your commitment to continuous learning.
Okay.
Mention any specific training programs you're interested in or skills you want to develop.
Okay.
You can also discuss your willingness to take on new challenges and seek out mentors within the company.
Great. It shows that you're proactive
Yeah.
and that you're invested in your professional growth.
Okay, we've covered a lot of questions,
We have.
but there's one that always comes at the end of an interview,
Okay.
and it can feel a bit intimidating.
All right. Do you have any questions for me? A lot of people get stumped by this one,
Yeah,
but it's actually a fantastic opportunity
right.
to show your interest in the company, in the role.
Uh-huh.
And it's your chance to gather more information to help you make an informed decision.
Exactly. So what are some good questions to ask?
You could ask about the company's culture,
Yeah.
their commitment to safety and sustainability,
Mm-hmm.
or their plans for growth and expansion.
Uh-huh.
You could inquire about the specific team you'd be working with,
Right.
the opportunities for professional development,
Yeah.
or the typical career path for someone in this role.
And it's also perfectly fine to ask about the next steps in the hiring process.
Oh, okay.
When can you expect to hear back?
Right.
What's the timeline for making a decision?
Absolutely. Asking about the next steps demonstrates that you're proactive
Yeah.
and eager to move forward.
Okay, we've covered a wide range of interview questions and potential follow-up questions.
Yeah.
What are some key takeaways for our listeners as they prepare for their mining assistant interviews?
Preparation is crucial.
Yes.
Research the company thoroughly,
Yeah.
their operations, safety protocols, values, and any recent news or developments. And familiarize yourself with the specific requirements of the role.
And practice your answers to common interview questions.
Right.
Use the STAR method to structure your responses, highlighting your skills and experiences in a clear and concise way. And don't forget to emphasize your commitment to safety,
Right.
your problem-solving abilities, and your willingness to work effectively as part of a team.
And remember, RoleCatcher's resources and AI can be incredibly valuable throughout
Absolutely.
your interview preparation journey.
Yeah.
Their career guides, interview guides, and AI-powered feedback can give you that extra edge to make a lasting impression.
For sure.
You can even use their AI tool to analyze the job description
Right.
and tailor your resume and answers to highlight the specific skills and experience they're looking for.
Okay, we're almost out of time for this deep dive.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts for our listeners?
One thing to keep in mind is that the mining industry is constantly evolving
Right.
with new technologies and a growing emphasis on sustainability.
Absolutely.
As you embark on this career path,
Yeah.
be open to continuous learning and embracing new ways of working.
Fantastic advice. Good luck to all our listeners out there
Yeah.
preparing for their mining assistant interviews.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Uh-huh.
Mining industry is definitely facing new challenges and opportunities.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to sustainability
Right.
and responsible resource extraction.
Absolutely. And interviewers will be looking for candidates who are aware of these trends and who are eager to contribute to a more sustainable future for mining.
So what does this all mean for our listeners
Okay.
who are prepping for their mining assistant interviews?
It means you've got the insights, the tools, and hopefully the confidence to walk into that interview and really shine.
We've covered a lot of ground today.
Yeah, we have.
From understanding the core duties of a mining assistant
Right.
to dissecting those common interview questions and even exploring how AI can give you that extra boost.
And throughout this deep dive, we've woven in key takeaways from RoleCatcher's Career Guide.
Right.
Those pros and cons, the potential advancement paths, and the importance of continuous learning in this dynamic industry.
Exactly. So remember, preparation is key.
Yes.
The more you immerse yourself in understanding the role, the company, and the types of questions they might ask,
Yeah.
the more you'll stand out as a top candidate.
And don't forget about those amazing resources from RoleCatcher. Their
Oh.
career guides, interview guides, and AI-powered tools can be game changers when it comes to crafting targeted applications and practicing your interview responses.
One final thought for you to ponder as you embark on this exciting career journey.
Okay.
How do you envision yourself contributing to a safer, more efficient, and more sustainable future for the mining industry?
It's a question worth thinking about as you prepare for your interview and beyond.
Good luck.
Good luck.